Have I got anything that needs a good firing?
Ah, a forge. The one place metal and bread are welcome in equal measure.
Careful now, that's a trap!
Perhaps I can detonate that explosive.
Careful now, that's a trap.
A whetstone wheel. Now, what do I have that needs sharpening?
Perhaps I can detonate that explosive from a distance.
A whetstone wheel. Now, what do I have that needs sharpening?
What can I cook up today?
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The cam wants you up on deck. Hear them calls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry enough for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off on the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Source hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conrad.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
Shaman, have mercy on your soul.
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside?
Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of source. Let's investigate the tomb and see what answers it might reveal.
Indeed. For all we know, these dark-dealing thieves may be involved with Councillor Jake's murder.
This seems to be broken. Let's see. Key, lockpick, or hammer. This seems to be broken. Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself. Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself. Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself.
Put you down!
right there, orc scum. No one slips past the Legion.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Got a single horn in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue with you, Bibius. Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Sightfield.
So, you're source hunters, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a two-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
The wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Agreed. A wizard is bound to know more about what is going on around here.
Capital, come along. We're not far from the city. Come, let's have another drink while we still can. To your very good health.
And yours, Bibius. Here goes. What the hell's happening down there? Orcs! Bloody orcs! Come, let's go back to
Did you see that? Those orcs had a human commander.
How very curious. And how very disquieting.
Where are Bibius and Junius? They hear the fight.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor. Oi, the Source Hunter! Nice to see these winds are blowing more than bloody orcs our way. Welcome to Seal, comrade, and good luck. It's these orcs. Now that they have bees in their bonnets about God only knows, we need every hand we can get. That rat-faced shaman of theirs even went to the trouble of launching a fireball at a ship in the harbour to the west of here. They may need help. I would go myself, but we legionnaires are under strict orders never to abandon our posts. Never know when another one of these little raiders might sidle up the beach. We legionnaires are loyal servants to Captain Arius and the Council of Seven. Been stationed in Sicil for more than a year now, with no end in sight. Beats me what traitorous madness came over that dog. A man among orcs? It'd be like one of your kind running with a sorcerer. Whatever the Cur's incentive to raise swords alongside that murderous lot, let's all hope it was a private grudge. Could you imagine if we had to add a slew of wild-eyed, orc-loving bedlamites to our list of enemies in Sicil?
Taken before his time. Far before his time.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed. But to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter, and I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sects, undead, orcs. Oh, looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Bringing your little orchid girl from here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house. Nonsense. Listen. What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
Filthy beasts, I'll kill the last one of you.
An orc in love. Ha! When this little chatting fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast the gaze instead upon my fair pallid flesh.
As well your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you pack a horn on her head.
This place reeks of all stench.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. Silence.
What fool would trust a two-bit love?
Get the plane straight to the harbour!
ship's blazing ever higher!
Learn how to play with fire.
Blasted orcs learn how to play with fire.
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire. The ship's blazing ever higher. Come on, man. Put your backs into it. Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicil?
Shores? Here? In Sicil? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, con madness! Thought we were done with those swampy uglies a fortnight ago. Note, though, that none of them dared to come close to the tide splitter.
Come on, mate. Put your backs into it.
The ship's blazing ever higher!
Sailor, what news from the main? We need more help or she's lost.
Blasted orcs learn how to play with fire!
What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
We mustn't let the flames spread to the whole bar.
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
Come on, then! Put your backs into
Really?
it!
The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope.
How to play with fire!
We need more help, or she's lost!
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire.
We need more help, or she's lost.
Come on, man! Put your backs into it! We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour.
ship's blazing even higher.
Are these the biggest buckets we've got? Are these the biggest buckets we've got? What if the Orcs are sending another fleet?
We need more help or she's lost.
I don't know how you did that, hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fine vessel like that disappear beneath the waves. I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the Orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Shores? Here? In Seal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. Yes, sir.
Sauce? Here in Seal? Da.
Our home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes while we could do naught but look on.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Ythel Door anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore...
I don't know how you did that, hocus. I thought the old gal...
Norway, 500 yards of my loving nature.
Save that sheep all by your lonesome. Quite a feat. If I had the magic touch about me, I'd have lent you my hand too.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. This is a storing house for Legion supplies, perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been trusted to guard it.
God, duty's not so bad, hey?
Would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace.
Just making conversation, mate.
Mate, he says. We are colleagues, nothing...
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife, Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you. Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since the incident. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here. Nothing to report, sir.
You never have.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their pet orc here.
Makes sense, sir.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher? to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets.
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her. My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed. Oh! Mm.
Avert your gaze and I'll handle...
Stench.
Away from there, you pilferer! That room is off limits to the Good. But do not tempt fate again, or my soul!
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's orders. Wait a second. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognize you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I'll bring some backup if I were you. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out? Thank you for heeding my words of warning, Hunter. Scythiel needs you alive and well.
need to unlock this somehow.
The coast reminds me of my long flame. I sail the sea. I walk the worlds.
So you're just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
Oh, thank you for leaving me.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sightseal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a pleasure to meet you. A delight. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate has put me on this very spot so I may tell you all about a most intriguing opportunity indeed. Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise that is locked inside of each and every one of us. So first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you like adventure?
Made a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
Some could not, because they are professionals, not adventuring daydreamers.
Clearly, two strong personalities stand before me. Two who voice their opinions with vigor when they differ. What else could I expect from mighty source hunters? Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully, don't you sometimes wish you could earn more?
Well, I can't say that I haven't.
Yes, some extra gold is always welcome.
Indeed. Indeed, gold is always welcome. And among the fabulous five, gold flows as freely as water does to the sea. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? Wouldn't you prefer to call your own shots? Be your own boss?
Cheese, tomatoes.
There is no shame in following directives if your masters are worthy of your trust.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Made a big cheese on your brook with a wheel of the
So
good
you're
stuff.
just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what, exactly? Oh,
You'll always stay menial with...
You disagree with one another. But that proves you are firm-willed, that you have the minds of independence, not dependence. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Grab it.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Have you ever had the doctor's telling you the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge? They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets. The likes of which I doubt you could even fathom.
Heavenly herring! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a scrap of gold!
Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you, Divinity.
Oh, you can speak that way to us. Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye.
Ah, the fabulous five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious. You'd like nothing more than to... What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Now then, to join the fabulous five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the fabulous five and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you will get a share. By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say work hard? Fulfill contracts. Enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the... Of course, of course, of course! All you need to do is sign this waiver, and just like that, snap! You're part of the family.
This fabulous five business sounds too good to be true. I'm gonna pass.
Agreed. You came on a little bit too strongly there, buddy.
Oh, how frightfully disappointing. How illogical and short-sighted of you. To deny the fabulous five. It is a crime against reason and humanity.
Then a slice of this fine, all the better.
So you're just hanging around here, are you?
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
Back, demon! Back or out! Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. So bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him.
Myself with such things.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lying in
You
your
wouldn't.
pocket.
I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicil hinterlands. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short... Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by...
Eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all...
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in 100-mile radius.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ah, he should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets.
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you please. Can I tell you? I suppose I can. And I could. But why would I turn my attention away from this whiskey when Mendius right outside is simply panting with excitement? How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying that who I am is hardly any of your business. And anyone with an ounce of tact would have known that already.
Twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my fact is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
Hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Chancellor and I were anything near allies, but I truly never wish the man. I am the Duke of Ferrell, though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless gossipers that you've heard of me by...
Watch out! I smell. Oh, the fierce stench of flattened source goblin.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. This time.